Scorpio. Listen closely because what your soul has been whispering for months is finally stepping into full volume. This is the month where something must end, and you already know it. You can feel it in the way your chest tightens before you walk into a room, in the way your body grows heavy when you think about that relationship, that job, that routine, that version of yourself you keep trying to wear like a skin that no longer fits. This isn't just a small adjustment or a minor shift. This is a sacred breaking point, the moment where the universe stops hinting and starts speaking clearly. It hurts, yes. It feels unfair at times. But under all that ache, there's a deep, steady knowing. You cannot stay where your spirit has already left. This is not punishment. This is a rescue. For a long time, you've tried to make it work. You rationalized, you minimized, you told yourself it's not that bad because the alternative, leaving, felt too big, too scary, too final. You stayed in conversations that drained you, in environments that shrank you, in roles that demanded more and more while giving less and less. You did what Scorpios do best. You endured. You carried the weight in silence, believing that if you just stayed loyal a little longer, tried a little harder, compromised one more time, somehow things would transform. But Spirit is stepping in now and gently placing a hand on your shoulder. It's not your job to resurrect what your soul has already buried. Where you are is no longer aligned with who you're becoming, and that misalignment has been growing louder, like a drumbeat you can't ignore. In the sky, your ruler Pluto doesn't play small. It doesn't tweak, it transforms. The energy around you this month is very much Plutonian, deep, uncompromising, honest. It exposes what is rotten at the roots, not to shame you, but to free you. You may feel this as sudden clarity about a connection that has been wobbling for a while, or a burst of truth about a workplace that never truly honored your value. You might notice your patience dissolving for patterns you used to tolerate, excuses you used to accept, versions of yourself you used to perform. You're not too sensitive. You're waking up. Where Venus talks about love and value, Pluto asks one piercing question. Do you actually live according to what you say you deserve? And this month, the universe is arranging situations that make it impossible to keep pretending. It's so human to hold on to what's familiar, even when it hurts. You may be staying out of habit, history, or fear. Fear of being alone, fear of starting over, fear that if you leave, you'll never find something better. The part of you that learned love by surviving chaos is terrified of the quiet that comes after letting go. That's why this moment feels so emotionally intense. You're not just walking away from a person or a place. You're walking away from an old identity, one that learned to say, I'll stay, even if it breaks me, as long as no one leaves. But Scorpio, the truth is turning now. Staying where your soul is suffocating is a much slower kind of abandonment. It is abandoning yourself in slow motion. You are not here to prove you can endure pain. You are here to remember you're worthy of peace. Imagine the tarot card of the Eight of Cups, not as a prediction but as a mirror, a figure walking away from a stack of cups that once represented emotional investment, history, effort. They turn their back, not because the cups are worthless, but because they're empty now. The scene isn't violent, but it's final. That's the energy surrounding you this month. You are allowed to honor what something once meant to you and still admit it no longer feeds you. The World card hums in the background as well, not as happily ever after, but as completion. A cycle fulfilled, a lesson integrated, a chapter that did what it came to do. You're not leaving as a failure, you're graduating. You've learned what you needed to learn in that environment, and staying longer only repeats the same pain with different costumes. Some of the hardest goodbyes are not dramatic. They are quiet. They happen in the privacy of your own decision. You may not slam doors or burn bridges. You might simply stop pouring your soul into places that never pour back. You might stop calling, stop explaining, stop justifying your needs. You might decide to send that email of resignation, decline that invitation, or finally admit, this love is costing me myself. Grief will come in waves, because even toxic patterns had familiar rhythms, and even painful places contained memories your heart once held close. But grief doesn't mean you're wrong. It means you're human. You are allowed to cry while walking out of a door you know is no longer meant for you. This month, you are being gently but firmly escorted out of rooms where your spirit can no longer breathe. You might notice increased tension in your body when you think about staying, and a strange, fragile relief when you imagine leaving. Pay attention to that relief. That tiny exhale is your soul's yes. You may not have all the answers about what comes next, and that's okay. Faith doesn't require a full blueprint. It starts with one honest step. The ancient words, "The just shall live by faith, not by sight," don't belong only in sacred texts. They belong in moments exactly like this, when you choose to move not because you see the whole road, but because you trust the inner voice that says, you can't stay here anymore. Your heart already knows the difference between fear and truth. Fear screams, truth whispers, and then waits. You might be worried that leaving will make you the bad one, that stepping away from a dynamic, a job or a role will make others think you're selfish, ungrateful, dramatic. Breathe. The people who are committed to misunderstanding you will do so no matter how carefully you shrink yourself. This isn't about convincing anyone. This is about alignment. When you say yes to a life that fits your soul, some people will lose access to the version of you that kept them comfortable. That's okay. Not everyone is meant to walk into your next chapter. Energies that fed on your self-doubt cannot survive in the atmosphere of self-respect. You are not here to be the martyr in someone else's story. You are here to be the main character in your own. There is also a part of you that needs tenderness right now. The inner child who once believed that leaving meant abandonment, that change meant danger, that every ending was a judgment of their worth. When you think about walking away, that part trembles. This month is not just about external transition. It's about internal reparenting. You are the one who gets to lean down emotionally and say to that younger self, I'm not leaving you. I'm leaving what hurt you. I'm not walking away from love. I'm walking toward a safer, truer version of it. When you reassure that part, the panic softens. You begin to see that this isn't you being thrown out, it's you stepping out. Practically, this energy invites you into small acts of courage. You don't have to uproot everything overnight. You can begin by being radically honest with yourself. Write down what no longer feels like home. Name the places where your body says no, even when your mouth keeps saying yes. This month, give yourself permission to take one concrete step that supports your exit. Updating your CV, having a direct conversation, setting a boundary, saving a small freedom fund, or even just admitting out loud, I want more than this. These are not trivial gestures. They are anchors of intention. The universe responds not just to your thoughts, but to the tiny actions that say, I'm preparing for my next life. You may notice synchronicities intensify around you, repeating numbers, songs that seem to speak directly to your situation, conversations where strangers echo the exact words your heart needed to hear. Take these as gentle confirmations, not commands. This path is not about surrendering your power to fate. It's about co-creating with the divine. You still have choice, you still have agency. The message of you must leave is not a threat. It's an invitation to stop betraying yourself. The universe can open doors, but you decide whether you walk through them. As you move through this month, imagine surrounding yourself with colors that calm and strengthen you. Deep indigo for intuition, soft gold for self-worth, forest green for healing. Let your external world support your internal shift. Tidy your space, release objects that carry the weight of old stories, Make room physically for the life you're stepping into spiritually. Even something as simple as moving furniture, changing your bed sheets, or clearing a drawer can send a clear signal. I am making space for what truly belongs here. There will be moments where you'll want to turn back, where nostalgia paints the past in softer colors than it actually held. In those moments, remember not just how someone made you feel on your best day, but how they left you on your worst. Remember the anxiety you carried to bed, the tightness you normalized, the self you had to dim to keep the peace. Let the memory be complete, not edited. You are not walking away from all love or all stability. You are walking away from whatever requires you to abandon yourself to keep it. Real love, real purpose, real peace will never demand that sacrifice. If you feel tears rise as you listen to this, let them come. You are not weak for feeling this deeply. You are clearing out space. Grief is not the opposite of strength. It is strength refusing to pretend. You're allowed to be the warrior and the one who cries. You're allowed to be the phoenix and the one who trembles before jumping into the fire. Both are you. Both are holy. The important thing is that you do not let temporary pain convince you to settle for permanent misalignment. Somewhere ahead of you, there is a life that fits. A space where your laughter isn't an interruption, where your silence isn't a weapon used against you, where your needs aren't treated as inconveniences. There is work that excites your spirit, not just drains your energy. There are relationships where your intensity is welcomed, not shamed. This month is not about arriving there instantly. It is about turning your feet in that direction. One step, one decision, one boundary. That's all it takes to begin rewriting your story. And Scorpio, as we move toward the closing of this message, there is something important your higher self wants you to remember. This narrative is not a rigid prophecy carved in stone. It is a mirror, reflecting one of many possible timelines your soul may resonate with. It is a story woven from symbols, intuition, archetypes, and spiritual insight, a thought experiment for the heart. If this message awakens something deep inside you, if it makes your intuition say, "Yes, that's me," then let it support your courage. Take what feels true, what brings clarity, what aligns with your inner wisdom. If parts of it do not fit your life, let them pass by like clouds drifting across a wide sky. Not every word is for every Scorpio, and that is perfectly okay. This is not a substitute for your own discernment, your personal choices, or professional guidance in matters of health, law, finance, or mental well-being. You remain the author of your actions, the final decision-maker in your life, and the power in that is sacred. If your spirit feels ready, you can anchor this energy now with a simple declaration. Whisper it to yourself or write it in a place where you'll see it again. I am strong enough to leave what no longer serves my soul. I trust that what I release makes room for what is meant for me. Let that sentence become a soft flame inside your chest, a reminder when fear flares, a hand you can hold when doubt tries to pull you back into old rooms. You are not late. You are not behind. You are precisely on time for your own becoming. So breathe, Scorpio. You have survived storms you never speak about. You have rebuilt yourself in silence more times than anyone knows. This month is not the end of you. It is the end of you carrying what was never meant to be yours forever. Be strong. Let it hurt. Let it break open. And then, when you are ready, take the step your soul has been rehearsing for months. The huge change coming is not here to erase you. It is here to reveal you.